Welcome, everybody, to Respawn Please podcast. I'm your host, Jesus, and with me, as always, is Ell. Ell, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. It's going really well. I'm happy to be on the pod to talk about something that maybe was not so happy.
Yeah.
Well,
it'll be a fun, it's been a couple of days. I'm sure everything is fine. Everything is good. Everything is happy. I do have some positives to say about it, though. Obviously, our topic of the week is the PlayStation Showcase. We'll be talking about that at length. We'll be doing a breakdown. I'm mostly going to be highlighting games that stood out to me, that I got excited about, that I thought looked cool.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get into all that, what you been playing this week, Ell?
So I've been playing, of course, still on Slay the Spire. I'm still trying to get to the heart with the defect. Wait, the defect class. It's just so tough, and I've been learning more and more about the using the claw building deck, where it's like zeros and stuff, and that's so much fun because when you get a rhythm going with the claws and you keep your deck in a precise amount of cards, it just constantly is building and super fun. And so but I haven't had luck. I've always gotten to the Act 3 final boss before the heart, but I can never seem to get through them, get past them. And so been playing that. I've been playing GTA Vice City Remastered just because I love the GTA series. Playing, of course, a little bit of Overwatch 2, just randomly, just trying to, see if I still want to enjoy playing it, but I've been playing tank stuff mostly. Yeah. And I want to say, I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. And Fall Guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fall Guys. Are you working on a stage or anything, or just playing Fall Guys for Fall Guys' sake?
Just playing Fall Guys for Fall Guys' sake.
Okay.
Nothing.
I don't know why I phrased it like that, but it's a weird way to phrase that.
No,
but,
yeah.
I'm kind of in a similar boat. Mostly, I think I told you this a while ago. I'm trying to get all the achievements on Steam for Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
Let me look at how many I got left.
I know.
I've just been playing that like crazy.
That's so funny.
I have 110 out of 184, so I have 74 more to go.
Wow.
I'm just slowly working my way through it. I'm trying to just unlock everything, I'm just going hard at it. I have,
nice.
Hold on, I just clicked it off. I was going to say how many hours I've played.
Oh boy.
I have sunk in a lot of hours to this game. It's only 32 hours.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I thought it was going to be more than, I guess Vampire Survivors doesn't really last that long, right? So
yeah, no, not much at all. That's basically 5 days out of the week. That's not bad.
Yeah, I've just been going through, and then I started playing a little game called Planet of Lana. I told you about this game. You need to play this game. This game is utterly gorgeous. If you're a fan of Inside or Limbo or any games like that, Planet of Lana is right up your alley. The artwork is just incredible. It's all hand drawn and it's absolutely gorgeous. The music is phenomenal. The music is just so damn good. Music makes this game.
Okay.
And the sound design is incredible too. Just hearing the different noises as you're navigating the levels, and just it's just an incredible experience all around. It is fairly simple. Nothing is too hard, nothing's too challenging or anything. The final boss fight is pretty dope as hell, though.
Gotcha.
Kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's still dope as hell. And there's, of course, a way to win my heart, except for Stray.
Oh boy.
Cute cat thing. There's a cute cat thing. It's called Mooey. It's adorable. Yeah, it's adorable. It's a little black cat-shaped thing. It's adorable as all hell.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. But it's fantastic. It's on Game Pass. It's only about 4 hours long too.
Oh yeah, sure.
It is just a great experience. It's my indie game of the year so far.
Okay.
Haven't really played too many indies. There's one indie game that's coming up that we're going to talk about. That'll probably take it if it lives up to expectations. Plucky Spy. But we'll talk about all that soon. But yeah, that's about all I've been playing. Oh no, I take that back. I started last night on stream, on my personal stream. I started Yakuza 0.
Wow.
I'm going to go through the Yakuza games on my stream. We'll see how long that lasts.
Oh my gosh.
I played like the first 2 hours. The first 2 hours is mostly just cutscenes. I think it was like 45 minutes. It was just 45 minutes of me sitting there just watching cutscenes.
Jesus.
Not in my head, going along with it, man. Just vibing with it, man.
Yeah. That's so funny. Because I know those games are like notoriously long. Like, or if you play
like
through
100 hours, 100 hours each one of them.
My gosh.
But yeah, I'm starting with Yakuza 0. Going to make my way through 0 to Like a Dragon. So
nice.
I need to get Like a Dragon Ishin. But that's not a mainline game, so it's not that important. I'm just doing the main lines right now, which is Yakuza 0, then all them. Yeah, this started last night, did 2 hours, and yeah, I'm excited. It's awesome. Game's dope.
Nice.
I've always been a fan. I have watched other streamers play it, so I kind of loosely know like the story of them. Specifically, I watched Ray from formerly of Achievement Hunter.
Yeah.
He used to stream them all the time because he was obsessed with them. And so like I watched him play and so I kind of know the story, bits and pieces and stuff. But yeah, it's good to finally experience it myself, like playing it and everything. So yeah. But you know what I'm looking forward to?
Oh boy, are you?
There's a lot of games that I'm looking forward to that was shown off at the showcase. Was the showcase itself good? I don't know. We're about to talk about it. But this week, the PlayStation Showcase that happened on Wednesday. And let me just say this right out the bat.
Okay.
We watched the showcase. We live reacted to it. You can go watch our live reaction on our YouTube channel. Haven't taken it down or anything like that. It's there. It's live. One of the highlights for me, if you watch it, and I realized this, I was pretty negative through the whole thing. I was pretty negative. I was pretty underwhelmed by a lot of stuff. I'm just going because this was a showcase, and PlayStation alluded to like this being first party stuff, and there wasn't a whole lot of first party stuff.
Yeah,
there's just a handful of first party stuff. And so I was quite disappointed by the end of it. It just didn't have a lot that excited me. I felt like some of the trailers just weren't exciting at the time. In retrospect, going back and watching them now, I'm like, yeah, I actually enjoyed this a lot. But overall, my initial experience wasn't that great. I think I gave it a 2 out of 5, right? When I watched it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bump it up to a 3 out of 5. I'm going to bump up my score to 3 out of 5. Because I do think the content, the games they showed off in retrospect, after I plucked the negativity out of my brain and actually sat down and watched all the trailers that got announced, all the games that got announced, the ones that stood out to me, because my list actually went on a lot longer than I thought it was going to. And I was like, you know what? There was actually some really good games. There was a lot of games that I was like, oof. Like the Splatoon looking one. What was it called? Yeah. Foam Star, whatever the hell.
Foam Star. It was Foam Star. Oh,
I was like, what the fuck is this? But everything else, there was like Helldivers, Ghost Runner 2, Phantom Blade, the Plucky Squire, the Metal Gear Solid stuff. Like all of it looked great. I was just like, I think there was a lot of stuff that I was like, yes, this is great. I love it. And so that's why I'm bumping up to a 3 out of 5. I don't think the show was great by any means. I think there's not really anything. I will say this: PlayStation didn't sell me on why I should keep playing on PlayStation, if this makes sense.
Yeah,
because pretty much all the games that we're going to talk about today are also on PC. So it's like, why would I play it on a PlayStation over PC? So it's like, with the exception of one game, game, that's Spider-Man. But like, so PlayStation didn't sell me, and I think that's the biggest drawback to this PlayStation Showcase, was that it didn't sell me on why I need to keep playing on PlayStation, why I should keep playing on PlayStation. I mean, I'm going to keep playing on PlayStation because I have PlayStation 5, but it didn't like if I didn't have my PlayStation 5, this showcase didn't really show me why I should. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But the games they did show were fantastic. The majority of them were fantastic, I should say. And so that's why I'm bumping up to 3 out of 5. I think hopefully PlayStation learns from this and realizes that they need to like sell you on this. And I think that's the big drawback for the PlayStation Showcase for me. And I just rambled on. I apologize. Elle, what are your thoughts after a few days removed.
After a few days removed.
Sitting back and thinking about it.
So what immediately happened after we watched this showcase, I like myself, was it's interesting. I almost don't want to say that I was necessarily disappointed, but nothing except maybe like if I can count it on one hand, the amount of games that actually made me excited for, but kind of going to chiming into what you just said, a lot of the games that I was like, oh, that looks cool. I was like, that looks cool, but I realized that, well, why would I want to play this on a PS5 when it's coming to PC as well? Yeah. And it's interesting because I don't know if you noticed this on Twitter. So like after the whole showcase was done, right? Did you see, cause I was like, I wonder if there was really only a couple exclusives were like a very handful. But Xbox posted coming to Game Pass. Yeah. And it's like a bunch of those. And I was like, oh, it's like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Like all these are also coming over. Of course, with your, you set your Spider-Man and stuff like that. But it was so funny because I was like, oh, are they taking a little jab? Like, oh, yeah, those are also coming to Game Pass. And I was like, oh, I don't need a PS5 unless I want to play, God of War, Spider-Man, I can't think of the other exclusives, but
Last of Us. Well, Last of Us is on PC too. Well, first Last of Us. Last of Us hasn't made its way yet, but. Yeah. But I say all that to say that I was like, nothing was really drawing me to want to be like, I should play the PS5 over the PC or anything like that, Yeah. But that's just me. I know I stated a score that I gave it a 2 out of 5. I'm going to keep it at a 2 out of 5 just because there were cool games, but I think that the show overall, maybe it's just me, but it just didn't feel strong at all. It kind of felt very lackluster. It didn't feel like they were trying to get me to come over to PS5. It didn't feel like that at all. I did hear like people saying that maybe like this showcase, I know they did say that they were going to show off first party stuff, but they did show a lot of indie love to a lot of indie developers with like certain games and stuff, which I get, and that's amazing. But for me, it's just like there were cool indie games, like some of the ones that you liked, like Plucky Squire, like that looked really cool, looked really amazing. But like the rest of these games for me weren't they just didn't grab my attention as much for me. That could change maybe if I give them a try and I'm like, oh, these other games that I tried are amazing too. But if they're coming to Game Pass, I feel like, well, there's no need to play a PS5. I mean, we don't know if they're coming to Game Pass or anything. Oh, yeah, true. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves there. They're just coming to PC.
Gotcha. Yeah, sorry, PC. And so I'm just like, well, yeah. It's okay, but those are just like my top level thoughts. It's just a handful of stuff. By no means was I like disappointed, just because I kind of feel like I really haven't been a PlayStation fanboy in a very long time. Even though that was like my first, like whenever PlayStation 1 came out, that was like my first big like, oh, I got that system, and I was PlayStation for a long time till I switched to Xbox, and so it was okay. It just was okay for me.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. Like, if I, like I said, if I didn't already have a PS5, this showcase would have done nothing for me. I would have just been like, okay, whatever. It's not important. The big standout for me, and I almost wish they would have just not said anything about VR. Because prior to, they're like, we're going to show off the next games for PlayStation 5 and VR and PlayStation VR 2. I almost wish they would have just left VR out completely. Because my gosh, the 4 or 5 games they showed for PSVR 2 and just did not look good.
Yeah.
I mean, Resident Evil, I guess. But if you're not a Resident Evil person, then Resident Evil 4 is not going to do anything for you, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, So, and this is why I wanted to start off before we even get into like the individual games.
Gotcha.
Did the showcase make you want to explore VR in any way, shape, or form? Did the games they show off make you want to try VR at all, Elle? I know, as someone who hasn't played VR or is into the VR space.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Yeah. I knew the answer, but I wanted to ask anyways.
No, it didn't do anything for me at all. Just because you were right. It's like 4 or 5 games, maybe 6, but of all the games that they showed, nothing really impressed me at all as to be like, oh, I need to experience this. The only game that I've seen of VR, and this might speak to me, maybe 2 games that makes me want to play them in VR is Half-Life Alyx. And then possibly the Horizon Dawn VR game. That looks like fun. But outside of that, the other games these games that they showed off, like you said, Resident Evil 4, the VR mode of it, I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm not the biggest Resident Evil fan, but I know it's a good game, but I'm just like, don't want to play it. Beat Saber, no, not really my thing.
I love Beat Saber. It's the only one worth playing.
Five Nights at Freddy's, I don't want to play that in VR.
I don't want to play that at all. Why does anybody like the fucking series at all? Anyways,
it has an audience. It has a movie. It has an audience.
It does. What do I fucking know? I'm stupid.
But I think, it's just what they showed off. It kind of feels like, I do feel like they are trying to like make good games, but I kind of feel like maybe this is like the first wave or like the first couple waves of like okay-ish games. Like you have your one, like you said, Beat Saber, and to some people, Resident Evil 4 VR mode is like going to be like, oh, that's so cool. But I think before they have a big hit, they have to go through some of these like ideas before they get to that one, like, Half-Life Alyx or just whatever,
Yeah. So then my follow-up question here. So I'm reading from a doc and trying to remember all my questions. But my follow-up question for you was going to be, is there anything that Sony can do to make you want to invest in the PlayStation VR2 ecosystem? A system that is as expensive, a little bit more expensive than the actual console itself. Like, because that's a huge investment, because you're looking at what, $1,200, right? So
man, that's a lot. That's basically a PC. That's like
all right, $1,100. Yeah, it's a huge investment, like, because you got to get the PS5 console and then you got to get the PSVR 2. Both are pretty expensive even now. Well, I mean, it's $400 if you're getting the discless version of the PS5. Yeah, but still, that's still a pretty investment, So
yeah, man, I'd say, to be honest, one of the ways two ways that they could bring me in. One, which this will take years and this will take time, is it can't be that expensive, like to buy into that system. Like it just can't be that expensive to buy the system, then to also have to spend money on the VR equipment, then to also have to spend money on the game.
On the games, yeah.
Yeah, and so maybe as like, technology keeps advancing, it'll get cheaper, hopefully. Then when it gets cheaper, I'll be like, okay, now I can buy in because it seems reasonable enough and I'm willing to spend, whatever amount of money. And then maybe by that time, they'll have a bigger catalog of VR games that people love, that are good, and then just things to try. But as of right now, it kind of feels like still the first. It almost feels like whenever, a new phone comes out and they're like, here's this new phone that's $1,500. And you're just like, do I really need this? Like,
yeah, do I really need to upgrade do I need to upgrade the iPhone when there's barely any changes?
Exactly. I'm like, why would I need this? I'm having a pretty good experience with just the console itself. And just playing, through that. And so, they just have to make something like undeniable, like a game that,
is a must play.
Is a must play, exactly. And then just the console and then the equipment for the VR just gets a little cheaper, I think, within being reason and stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, it's just, because it's $550 for the VR headset. Only $50 more than the disc version, but that's still a lot of money. Like, again, you make the investment of the console, the VR, then you got to buy the games. The games can run from anywhere from $20 to $70. It's like, it's just, it's way too much. It is. I mean, I don't know if the VR headset can go down significantly in price. Because it is pretty powerful compared to like the Oculus. It's more powerful than the Oculus from all the specs and stuff like that. And the Oculus right now is the cheapest. Actually, is that true? The Oculus, or I guess it's not the Oculus because it's called the MetaQuest now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, MetaQuest.
The MetaQuest, because that got a price bump, didn't it? Like it went up in price instead of down in price.
Maybe.
Because so you can get it for $500 now. You can get it from $400 to $500 depending on your, like, if you want to do storage space stuff and all that.
Gotcha.
Like the MetaQuest used to be the cheapest one, but even that like got a increase in price because production and hardware and all that. And then, anyways, what I'm trying to say is the PSVR 2 is technically superior to that. in terms of specs. So like the PSVR 2 can't really afford to go down in price. And at most, maybe they knock off 500, maybe 150 to get it down to 400. But like, I don't think we're going to see it like at like 300 or anything like that. I think it's going to stay like 350 or above. 400 or above is probably where it's going to be at for a while. Maybe towards the end of the life cycle.
Maybe. I think maybe what they need to focus on, which I'm pretty sure they are, they need to figure out a way to make the VR experience just as good as playing like games on a console. Because when you think about it and you look at competition, like I said, the PlayStation console itself with the disc version is what, 500?
The disc version is 400. Or 400, no, sorry. The disc version is 500. Discless is 400. Sorry.
So so you have those options, and what games are like $60, $70. That in itself is like, obviously cheaper than the VR itself. I mean, look at the Switch. The Switch you can find a Switch for what, $350? Or something like that.
You can get the Switch Lite. You can get the Switch Lite for $200, I believe, right?
And you can get some great games that'll still keep you under that $400, $500 mark. And you can, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. I think the PSVR still has a ways to go to figure out how to make people feel like they're getting more, most out of the money that they're spending. Because it almost feels like, if you get VR and you get the system and you'll probably get like one game. And it's just like, well, I better be happy with this game that I'm buying because this is the only VR game that I have until
that one game needs to be Beat Saber.
Exactly.
Then you can play Queen because they dropped the Queen pack too.
Exactly. And so it's kind of like, well, I think they just need to work on that, and I'm pretty sure they are. Hopefully they don't just neglect the hardware and then just let it die. But if they figure that out, it's just like, okay, then maybe they can be in talks to be like, oh, it's worth buying this.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the stuff that we are excited about, though. Some of the stuff that stood out to us during the showcase. I was about to say press conference. It's not. I mean, I guess this is technically a press conference. Just called.
You mean the PlayStation Light Show?
What? Yeah. Oh man, there was a lot of beautiful like transitions there with just light and the sacred symbols.
Exactly.
Which I'm going to be honest with you. I think they did that too much. I think they did. Showed out. I think it was too much. Too much. Let's just. You could just start the next trailer. You didn't have to cut to the
light show, the 5-second light show,
and then go to another trailer. You could have just started the next trailer. Just could have just done it.
Exactly.
Anyways, the first game that like they showed off, and we're gonna show off some of these things here is Helldivers. Helldivers looks awesome. They're taking a very, very heavy inspired Starship Troopers take with this, where it's like a propaganda here at the beginning of the trailer. Elle, what did you think about Helldivers?
Immediately, I had the same reaction that you did. I was like, "Is this Starship Troopers?" I was like,
that's what I thought it was too. I was like, "Shit,"
because it's playing that and it's taking that and it's like playing on that. Like, is this you? Don't you want to do right? Just like the movie. If for those who have seen the movie, I thought it was really cool because I liked that whole aesthetic and seeing the gameplay. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty cool." Because I know outside of the podcast, we talked about actually playing the Starship Troopers game
on Steam,
on Steam, and I was like, "Oh, this makes me want to go play that." And but this looks cool too. But I've never played Helldivers per se. But I was like, "Oh, this does look cool. I like it." Killing big bugs and just trying to accomplish missions and stuff. I was like, "Oh, this seems like it'd be pretty cool." Oh, you're good. But Helldivers, the landscapes look cool. The weaponry looks cool. The bugs look cool. It's very interesting. At first, now the more that I look at it, I can see somewhat inspiration from Starship Troopers of the bugs.
Oh yeah, these bugs very much remind me. They're not quite one for one, but they're very close.
Exactly. I can kind of see it in like their claws. I can see it in like their claws and like their feet and stuff. But outside of that, it looks pretty cool. I think this would be a very fun game to play with friends. Because I was like, oh, it'd be cool if like me, you, Dove, and Blitz just all was like bug attacking and just trying to do what we do in here.
Yeah, so this is Helldivers 2. The first game was a twin stick shooter.
Interesting.
So like top down twin sticks. more than this third person action. So they're taking it in a very different direction here. But I think it looks cool. I think this is an interesting way to go with Helldivers. But yeah, this game looks dope as hell. You pretty much said everything. Sorry, I got flustered because my dad
you're good. You're good.
Speak very loud. I don't know if the mic was picking it up, but yeah. Anyways, it looks phenomenal, and the propaganda stuff here was fantastic. I'm looking forward to trying it out. But again, it's coming to PC, so why would I play it on PlayStation?
Exactly.
Let's be real. It's gonna run better on PC.
Oh,
sorry. Let's just say it. Let's be honest. Everything runs well. That's not always true. Look at true. Last of Us. Last of Us Part 1 did not run well on PC.
Redfall.
So yeah. Let's switch over to the regular thing. But yeah, so this was the first standout game, and it pretty much happened close to the beginning, right?
Yes.
The next one on my list is Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner looked fantastic. I don't. Did you ever play the first Ghost Runner, Ell?
I never played the first one, but I saw like Bruce Green play it a lot. Mm-hmm. I think I saw Lawrence play it. I've seen other people like on YouTube compete for like the fastest time and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's always cool because this is the stuff that like I really enjoy watching other people play. But I myself like to play it too. But I never got to play it per se.
Yeah, it's a great game. I own it on PC and on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Actually, I'm a weird person because I believe it was free on the Epic Game Store. Last year or earlier this year, or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
And then it was also free through PlayStation Plus stuff and Xbox Game Pass and all that. So, this game looks great. I'm excited about playing it again. It's just a lot of action. You try to like you said, there's a lot of people that just want to speed run it and get the highest time that they can get, or the lowest time, I guess. Whoever can complete it fastest. The game's just fun as hell. It's a game is the best way I can say it, where it's like, you're playing a video game, but it's a freaking cool ass video game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and like this motorcycle look here, like it looks like we're gonna get some motorcycle levels and stuff like that. I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the sequel because the first game was awesome, and I'm sure this game will be just as awesome.
Oh yeah.
Next up on my list of games, Phantom Blade was the interesting one here. That I thought this was a game that they revealed at an earlier showcase, but I was completely wrong. And that is Phantom Blade Zero. Phantom Blade Zero is the samurai game that looks freaking awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
And I kind of agree with some of the discussions going around, like that I've seen on Twitter and like podcasts and stuff, is that I hope it's not going to, this is going to be a curse. Where it kind of looks, it almost looks too good to be true.
Oh, yeah.
This game is probably going to be janky as all hell, is what I and I kind of agree. It kind of looks like it's too good to be true, but I'm willing to believe. But look at where it's gotten me. When I believe in something,
Trek to Yomi.
Trek to Yomi. Redfall. Atomic Heart. Granted, people seem to like Atomic Heart because it still has like a 74, 75, something like that. So, but it's not as bad as Trek to Yomi or especially Redfall. This is a side tangent. Have you seen the new Lord of the Rings Gollum game?
Oh,
worst reviewed game of the year. Anyways, I almost put that as a news topic, but we have way too much to talk about here with the showcase. So, anyways, I'm hoping this is not going to turn into one of those things.
Oh yeah.
I do hope this is. I hope this lands solidly in like 75, 76 range, where it's still good. Maybe you'll not enjoy it. Maybe you will. Yeah, because it looks dope as hell.
It does. This was like the first game for me that stood out, and I'm like, oh, this looks really cool. The design looks cool. The character designs look really cool. The fight sequences. You had said it in the live broadcast where it seems very much like it's a Souls-like game.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the extreme, but like it has that kind of feeling to it, which I can definitely tell. But it did look very cool, and I'm like, ooh, because I'm a sucker for like anything like samurai and like these types of monsters. Like they look so cool to me.
Yeah, I like this dude with the freaking robot arm here. Whatever.
Oh yeah,
like lion
with like
head.
the
head.
lion tiger
he just
cannon.
Shot a missile
Exactly.
What is this game?
Very anime-ish.
Yeah. But yeah, this game looks fantastic. I just hope it doesn't I hope it doesn't kind of fall into that trap where it is a disappointing, janky game. I hope it is solid. I have a feeling it's going to land in the 70s, 75 range. I'm hoping. But I've hoped before, and it's failed me in the past. The next game is Sword of the Sea, which was a game created by the folks who created Journey. And boy, does it look like it too. The game looks fan-freaking-tastic. It's a beautiful game. The whole story is that you're skateboarding on a sword. I don't know if that's true. That's not the story.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah.
That's just what happens in the trailer.
Yeah. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's from the visionary artist behind. So it's not the developers, it's the visionary artist.
Whoever that artist is, it looks fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this looks amazing though. I'm into it. I hope it's good. Giant Squid Presents. I guess that's the developers. But yeah, just look at that. It's like so rad. That's so cool.
I know. That's so cool. It definitely you can see the journey in there, because I remember when Journey first came out and I was like, whoa, this game looks so beautiful. I have to play it. And this game is exactly like it. And I'm just like, whoa. Just from the art style to the detail to everything. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a well-reviewed game, I'd say. If not well-reviewed, reviewed for how it looks.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be one of those indie darlings for sure. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, looks fantastic. I'm excited for it. There was one of the more standouty ones for me. I think I was cracking jokes the entire time with it, though.
Oh yeah.
Let's be real. I was cracking jokes about everything when it comes to this. The next one on my list, though, is Neva, however you want to pronounce it.
Neva.
This one looks really cool too. It has a beautiful art style. There's a puppy. There's a bird that dies. There's a baby puppy. There's a big puppy that dies. It looks really cool. Wolf. The trailer doesn't really tell you what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued. Yeah. You know, this for audio listeners, we are watching the trailers. And this bird in this trailer just, got turned into flowers, basically. Black flowers. And this big wolf deer thing that's on the screen is going to get turned into one too. But yeah, I'm very intrigued by what this could be, just from the art style and just from this cutscene here. Like, it's intriguing, but it doesn't tell you what the gameplay is going to be like. It doesn't really tell you what's going on or anything like that. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about this one, but I did enjoy the art style. So
yeah, looks cool. Hopefully, like I said, the gameplay looks pretty cool or something. It's true to what we're seeing in some way or something,
Yeah. And I think that's something we didn't talk about at the top of the show, is that these were pretty much all just CG trailers. There wasn't a lot of gameplay. And I think that's one of the detractors for the showcase too, is just like, you showed us a lot of stuff, but you didn't show us gameplay.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what? A game that did get gameplay though? They did show off gameplay. The game that made me pop for some reason, because I just love this series.
I heard
freaking Cat Quest. Pirates
so
of
funny.
Caribbean. Where you go?
Caribbean.
There we go.
Caribbean.
But they did show off gameplay for this in this trailer. But yeah, I'm a weird human being. That was a buff ass cat right there.
I know, it was very buff. I was like, whoa.
I'm a weirdo. I pop for Cat Quest. I don't know why. I love the Cat Quest games. They're just fun, stupid games. But yeah, so the art style is adorable. Looks adorable as all hell. Gameplay looks exactly like 1 and 2. So it's gonna probably be fun. It's like a Zelda-esque, running around like classic Zelda, not like Tears of the Kingdom Zelda. But yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be coming out in 2024, so we have a long ways to wait. But yeah, this game is adorable as all hell. One of the games that I'm excited for, because I'm a weird human being. Ell, did you get excited by this game?
Not as much as you, but I was like, oh, that looks cool. The art style looks really cool.
You're telling me you're not excited about a Cat Quest? Oh,
I mean, hey, just not my type of game. Well, let me not say game, but just I wasn't as peaked into that one.
You know what a game is your type of game, though?
Oh?
Plucky Squire. The Plucky Squire looks incredible. We've talked about this before. It got shown off at the Devolver Digital Showcase last year. Might have gotten shown off at the Game Awards too. I can't remember, but it was also made an appearance here in the showcase. This game just looks incredible, from like the way it transitions from this like coloring book comic book style to being like 3D world. It's just phenomenal. Like that transition there, just amazing. Like, so again, crazy. Audio listeners, you need to go watch the trailer because like the plucky squire looks awesome as hell.
Yeah,
this is the indie game that I think is probably gonna just blow my socks off when it finally comes out. So yeah, what did you think?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. This is definitely one of those games, those indie games that I'm like, oh, this is trying to do something new with the art styles, the gameplay going from 2D to 3D, and then kind of combining the two. And so it definitely looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to play it.
Nice. Are you going to play it on PS5, or are you just going to play it on PC?
PC.
Yeah. Next up is the one that got spoiled for a lot of people because this did leak like prior to the show. And the speculation, there was already like weeks of speculation with it too. But that is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I think I said triangle during the show.
That's of a triangle. Oh, that makes a lot more sense now.
It's a Delta symbol, dude. It's a Delta symbol. Weren't you in Greek life? Or no?
I was, but I don't think that with Metal Gear. I'm just like Metal Gear Triangle. Like
yeah. But yeah, that was like funny. The common thing for a lot of people. Were like, triangle, what?
Exactly.
But yeah, it's Delta. It's Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. This is Metal Gear Solid. It's a remake of Metal Gear Solid. Again, no gameplay here, but the trailer looked dope. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say than that. I added to the list because I know Metal Gear Solid's popular.
Oh yeah,
I've never been a Metal Gear Solid person, Metal Gear guy at all. I'm indifferent towards the series. I played them, but I'm indifferent towards them. So
yeah,
what are your thoughts though?
I thought it's cool. Man, it's like one of those series that like I kind of just love from afar, just because I think Solid Snake is such a cool character. But the games themselves, I mean, I played through the original Metal Gear Solid, and then I also played a little bit of Sons of Liberty, but I never finished it. And then Metal Gear, it's one of those games where like the stories, you have to be tuned in for that story, man. It's like if like I remember playing Sons of Liberty and I was like, this is so cool, this looks so cool, but I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on with this story. But it's not my type of series. I'm happy, for people who love the series and are excited about the remake. And then I know they announced that they were remastering the original Metal Gear Solid and I think 2 other games, if I remember correctly.
They're remastering 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
right.
And so
no, there's a bundle getting released of 1, 2, and 3.
Gotcha.
Not remastering them. The 3 right now is the only one getting a remaster.
Gotcha. But I thought it was cool. I'm excited for those who enjoy the series. I'm not a big fan of Metal Gear.
Yeah, neither am I. But I'm excited. I'm happy for the folks getting this because I know a lot of people are excited about it.
Oh yeah.
The next game up, one that I'm sort of excited about. I thought it looked interesting, but it's the Towers of Aghasba. Yeah, it looks cool. Like I like the idea of it. So apparently it's like the developers on like Twitter and then on their PlayStation blog mentioned that this is like a Stardew Valley meets Zelda type game where you're building your village and also exploring the world and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, I can get really into this, which is why I included here after I read the blog. But even the trailer looks cool. Like obviously like the shot that we just saw here for audio listeners was him, the main character, I'm assuming, riding a glider like you would in Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. And just like some of the Vista shots here, like right here with the gliding on top of these like large creatures flying through the air and then stealing a shelter. I'm still Pokemon. That was a Pokemon. But yeah, it looks cool. It looks beautiful. Now, is the game going to actually look like this when it gets released? I don't know, but it does look like it has a lot of promise, especially if it is capturing that Stardew Valley beer. Because like Stardew Valley has like a gameplay loop that is addicting. I will say, like I've come and gone with Stardew Valley, but I enjoy it a lot. And then if the world isn't even remotely interesting to explore, then I think this game could really kind of make a splash.
Yeah, I think this is one that I wasn't as interested in. I kind of, not gonna lie to you, I kind of feel like I don't know if this game's gonna hold up. Just
I don't know either. I don't think so. But
I don't think
I'm
so.
hoping.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this turtle guy looks cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it looks like a pretty cool game. I know it's just not my type of game.
Yeah, but it looked interesting enough. Yes, the next game that we're going to talk about has a little bit of controversy. And that is Alan Wake 2. So Alan Wake 2 had a gameplay trailer revealed. But before we get into the actual gameplay there, if you hop over to the FAQ, which for video listeners, there's always a linked up so you can go watch these and look at this yourself. It was revealed that there is going to be no physical plan for Alan Wake 2, meaning you can only get this game on digital storefronts like Epic Game Store and then through PlayStation and Xbox game stores. You will not be able to get this in a disc version. This upset a lot of people. A lot of people were like, I'm not going to play Alan Wake 2 now. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are probably lying.
They probably will.
What do I know? But maybe, I don't know. What am I saying? But over in their FAQ, for Alan Wake 2, they have the question, why is Alan Wake 2 a digital only release? And their answer to this is, there are many reasons for this. For one, a large number have shifted to digital only. You can buy a Sony PlayStation 5 without a disc drive, and a Microsoft Xbox Series S is a digitally only console. It is not uncommon to release modern games as digital only. Secondly, not releasing a disc keeps the price of the game at $59.99 US dollars, €59.99 euros, and the PC version at $49.99 US and euro. Finally, we did not want to ship a disc product and have it require a download for the game. We do not think this would make for a great experience either. Honestly, while I think the answer to this, and I mean, this is an FAQ, so of course it's going to sound this way. It sounds almost lifeless in the response to this.
Yeah.
It makes sense because this is an FAQ. If I think that they would have had someone say this out loud, it would have been a more interesting and response to it. But I 100% agree. Like with this response to it, it's like most games have a day one patch, so you're going to have to download anyways.
Exactly. Yeah.
And a lot of times the day one patches are like 60 gigabytes, 50, 60, 30 gigabytes. It's pretty damn common, for better or worse. It sucks. It sucks beyond belief, but it's also kind of the direction the industry is going, the video game industry is going. Now, I don't really, for me, like I know this doesn't affect me at all. I'm going to play Alan Wake 2 no matter what, because I love Alan Wake to begin with. I'm going to be playing it through the Epic Game Store because it'll be on the Epic Game Store, not on Steam. I was going to have to play it digitally no matter what, because, I'm not worried about this. Ell, does this affect you at all?
No, not really. No, definitely not for me, just because I actually started to get into the habit of just buying games digitally just because it's a lot more convenient for me. I can definitely understand maybe because there are people who enjoy buying the physical product and just kind of either putting the disc in or putting in the if they're on Nintendo, the little game disc or whatever, square or whatever. And so I understand that, but I don't see why people get upset. Maybe that's just people wanting to kind of hold on to that, buying physical things. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, it's the same thing with there are people who love to collect DVD movies, the actual physical thing, versus streaming, because they like to feel that feeling of owning it, going to their wall and being like, oh, it's right here. I have it right here, versus if they lose it digitally, they have to re-download it instead of just being able to quickly put in a disc or just whatever. But for me, I think this is going to be more common as time goes on, where we're definitely going to get to a point to where it's only going to be digital. There's going to be no more disc. I think we're on the last few waves of physical games. I still think we got a couple years, but I think we would want to do that. One, because you don't want to just have a lot of trash out there and just, save the environment. But people should get used to it. I'm telling you, we do that with music now,
Yep, we do with music now. I mean, we're pretty much going that direction with film.
Yeah,
we're going. Yeah, it's just it. Like, I know I personally, the only time I rarely ever buy physical games. The only time I buy physical games is for my Switch and 3DS. I don't know why, but like I have the PS5 discless version. I have a Xbox Series S. So, and then most of my games are bought via Steam, our Epic Game Store, our God.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, it's all digital for me to begin with. My PlayStation 5 is mostly here for the PlayStation exclusives. And then my Xbox is for Game Pass. If I don't want to like play on my computer, I go sit in front of my computer or my TV and crap. So, and then my Nintendo Switch is just weird. Sometimes I buy a game, sometimes I don't. It's whatever.
Oh yeah,
but so
it just depends. I think, like I said, people are just. I think they're always going to be upset, and so I think it's just a matter of time because it's just the way of the world of technology and just recycling and all these things. I think at the end of the day, I think it's going to save a lot of space for people.
Yeah, I agree. Now to Alan Wake itself, what'd you think of the trailer?
Yes. It looked great. It looked amazing. It I need to go and play the first Alan Wake.
I have one thing. He very much looks like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he does.
That's like, that was one of my first reactions. I was like, huh. Looks like Keanu Reeves. No. Keanu Reeves. Anyways, go ahead. No. Sorry for cutting you off there.
No, definitely. But this is one of the games that stood out to me that I'm like, oh, I want to play it because it seems very much like a psychological thriller, suspenseful, and like, it almost, in a way, reminds me of, even though I never saw the show, it reminds me of, what's that show that everybody loved that was on HBO, about two cops, the FBI, trying to solve a murder. The first season had, I think, Matthew McConaughey and somebody else.
Oh, are you talking about True Detective?
Yeah, True Detective. And so that's what it kind of gives me a little bit like, and then I know there was another season in Louisiana for most me,
people,
but
most people compare it to like X-Files or
I could
Twin
see
Peaks,
that too.
Twin Peaks is the more common one.
Yeah, I could definitely see that especially with some of the images from here, from the trailer and just the video, and so. But it gave me that vibe. Maybe it's because I saw the FBI people and I'm like, oh, True Detective. But this definitely, I want to play this game.
Yeah. Same. I'm a huge fan of Alan Wake. I love the first game. And yeah, can't wait for 2. So that's all I got for that one. Next up on the list was Project Q and earbuds.
Interesting.
Ell, did this do anything for you? Did you go, man, I want these earbuds. I want this Project Q.
This is very interesting because at first, when I first saw this, I was like, this is lame. I hate this. I don't want it. Yeah. But the more I thought about it, I was like, nah, I still don't want it. But I was like, I see what they're trying to do with Project Q. Because they're trying to get you to kind of, because the Project Q is basically like their answer kind of in a way to the Switch, where you don't necessarily need
you still need to be connected to like Wi-Fi, and your PlayStation 5 needs to be on.
No, exactly. So instead of like,
I don't know.
I'd say it's kind of like, I kind of feel like this is them trying to do it like, oh, you don't have to be attached to the TV, you can be attached to this small little screen. I was sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but no, you're good.
The idea that most common thing would be like, oh yeah, if your like partner wanted to watch a TV show but you wanted to play the PlayStation, you could keep playing the PlayStation while your partner watches whatever they're watching on TV type of thing.
Exactly.
So like, that's the only scenario I could see that being useful. Like, I have no use for this at all. Like, I don't share my TV or any of my stuff with anybody. So it's like, maybe if I ever end up dating someone or being in a relationship, maybe it'll be useful. I don't know. But like, just looking at them like, it's not really worth it. Now, if it's like connected via Wi-Fi, does it have to be on the same Wi-Fi network? If I could can I leave my PlayStation 5 on at home? And then like go to like travel like 5 hours to, like, I say I go visit you at your home, would I be able to bring this with me, keep my PlayStation on at home? Hopefully the electricity doesn't go out. Can still play it like while I'm visiting you, who lives like 13, 14 hours away from me type deal?
Exactly.
Or do I have to be on the same home Wi-Fi? Because then if that's the case, then yeah, there's definitely no reason for this for me. Because it's like,
no, definitely. Yeah.
So like, I don't see any reason for this like handheld thing that they're doing with the PlayStation. Sorry, I don't think we clarified that the Project Q is this like handheld device that you pair with the PS5 to play on a smaller screen. And then they also showed off earbuds. They're earbuds. I got nothing for it.
I think the earbuds didn't make as much sense just because, isn't it with the PS5 you can just connect any Bluetooth headphones to it?
Yeah, like pretty much. So
this means like, I guess that's just for more like people who really love PlayStation and want those like earbuds. They looked okay to me, but
I mean, I can pair earbuds with my PlayStation headphones.
Exactly, cool, double the earbuds.
I can double the PlayStation. For audio listeners, I have a pair of PlayStation headphones, so I'll get the earbuds too.
Exactly. So, but yeah, the earbud didn't really make that much sense to me. But I was like, I guess it's them just trying to do something, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of earbuds. I'm going to be honest. Like, I tried wearing earbuds for a while on stream. They just weren't great, and yeah, they don't have. I'm just not a big fan of earbuds. So, with that said, I'll probably get them because I'm weird. And then to end the show, they of course ended with a lengthy gameplay trailer of Spider-Man.
Peter Parker.
But yeah, this one was a given. Like, I will say, up to this point, I was like, man, like initially when we were watching, I was like, wow, maybe they won't show Spider-Man. Like, we got to it, and I was like, the only thing they can do at this point is show Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it would have been wild if they would have just ended the show without showing Spider-Man.
Man,
because then this would have been a 2, a 1. You know,
exactly.
No matter how good the games are. But yeah, this is Spider-Man 2 though. It looks like Spider-Man 2. We have Peter for audio listeners. We're looking at Peter Parker as with his Venom symbiote on him. So
yeah,
he's in the black suit. And yeah, it's just more Spider-Man from like the first game. The Venom powers look dope as hell. Later on in this gameplay trailer, they do a switch between Peter and then Miles, and it almost was like a Grand Theft Auto transition.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
because it was like press switch to Miles. It wasn't like going up into the universe, but it was like a button prompt to switch. So
exactly.
But that's cool. But yeah, it looks like Spider-Man. It looks great. I'm excited for it. It's coming out soon. They didn't give a release date at the end of the trailer, did they?
No, I think they just
said fall 2023.
Yeah,
right?
fall 2023. Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks dope. Looks cool. We're getting what's his name? The Hunter, Kraven
the Hunter. Yeah,
Kraven the Hunter. We're getting Venom. We got Lizard.
Lizard.
Is that his name? What is his name?
Dr.
Connors is his real name.
Dr. Connors is the guy's real name.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're getting those. So we know those villains. We know we're getting Venom. I'm sure there's going to be other villains there for Miles and Spider-Man, Peter Parker to tackle. But yeah, did this do anything exciting for you? I will say this: the trailer went on way too fucking long. Too long.
Yeah. No. So like, I think for me, the trailer, it looked dope, but yeah, there was a moment where it kept transitioning sequences, you know, just, which I get they were trying to show off like this sequence of like, oh, this is what it's going to be like and how it plays. It did feel like it did drag on too long for me. And I was just like, okay, I get it. This is Spider-Man now. Cause it almost feels like I should be playing the game now. Give me the controller. Because the way that the amount of time that you held on to it is just like, it's too long. Now I feel like I'm playing the game. And then you're actually fall 2023. And I'm like, whatever. But it looked cool. Like, I'm happy that they're getting Kraven the Hunter. The sequences with Peter with the alien symbiote suit looked really dope. Looked really cool. Same thing with Miles. Those sequences were dope. But yeah, the only thing about this for me, because this was like definitely one of the heavy hitters, was that this trailer definitely went on for a little too long.
Yeah, it went on a little bit too long and it made me bored. So
yeah.
You know,
it reminded me of.
What's up? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say it reminds me of if you've ever played a game with siblings and but you're playing a 1-player game and you have to wait turns till it's your turn to play or vice versa, and they're just kind of watching, just bored. That's what it felt like. Yeah,
I was gonna say something very similar. So it pretty much is that. Yeah, it's just man. I feel like they might have revealed too much. I'm hoping this is at the beginning of the game, so they didn't reveal anything in the middle of the game. But I mean, I guess if this is in the middle of the game, there's not a lot of context here. So there's still a lot of stuff you can build up to. But yeah, with all that said, Spider-Man looks cool. It's probably going to be a dope ass game.
Yep.
And that is pretty much all the standout to me from the showcase. Was there anything I missed for you, El, or was that pretty much everything?
No, that was pretty much everything. Because really the standouts for me, of course, were Spider-Man 2, really Alan Wake, The Plucky Squire, what's it called? Ghost Runner 2 and Helldivers. Those really stood out for me. Everything else kind of just wasn't as memorable, unfortunately, for me. But you got basically the gist of, if not everything, that I was like, okay, yep, I like these.
Yeah. So to wind this down, the big question, in about 2 weeks, we have a whole bunch of showcases happening.
Yes.
We have the Xbox showcase and the Summer Game Fest showcase. And there's Devolver Digital and Ubisoft Forward and all this other stuff. But the big ones, obviously, are the Xbox and Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that Xbox and Summer Game Fest will be better than this PlayStation showcase?
I think they will. Just because, man, Sony made it very easy to kind of have a better showcase.
Yeah.
Not to say, like I said, this showcase, as I'm saying this, I want to reiterate that this showcase was not horrible. It just was not exciting.
Yeah.
They showed off pretty, decent games. And, I saw a couple people on Twitter talking about they were, they enjoyed the showcase, but I did see a majority of people saying that they were a little bored here and there. Nothing too much. I think that this leaves it wide open for Summer Game Fest and Xbox to capitalize on this. It almost feels like it's theirs for the taking, and they can just take it and run with it, and then just do whatever they must. But because it would suck if they, Summer Game Fest and Xbox do the showcase and it's worse. I'd be like, oh God, this is horrible. I doubt that, but like I said, it just feels like it's theirs for the taking. So I think that they will have the better showcases.
Yeah, I think Xbox for sure will hopefully have a better showcase. I think the thing that'll detract from Summer Games Fest is because unless they change up the formatting, they do rely on advertising. And so I'm willing to bet we're going to have a lot of commercials basically in between, I think that's going to be the big thing that'll detract from Summer Game Fest. And then the other thing is hopefully Xbox doesn't break up their announcements with a sizzle reel of Game Pass stuff like they've done in the past.
Oh yeah.
That'll be a detractor for Xbox, I think. Is just show us the games. And I think for Xbox especially, this is their moment to really take control of a narrative with how bad the response to Redfall was.
Yeah.
And they need to take control of the conversation with their showcase, and then with the Starfield Direct afterwards. They need to take control. They need to come out swinging. They need to show off something good. But even then, even if they come out and they only show, man, it's going to be really hard. It's really hard for me to say this. All they really need to do at this point is just show off a couple of games that are first party, and I think that'll be enough to steal the conversation away from PlayStation.
Yeah,
and definitely. I think the Starfield Direct that's right after the PlayStation Showcase, the Xbox Showcase, I think that's going to have a lot of people talking too. But we'll see. I think the Starfield Showcase alone, Direct, whatever, is going to be enough to steer the conversation for a while, especially with all eyes on Starfield, because this is a game that needs to succeed for Xbox.
Yes.
Succeed. I dropped syllables there. Weird. I'm almost I'm drunk, but I'm not, I swear. But yeah, so I agree with you though. Xbox would have to fuck up really, really bad to somehow walk away with a worse showcase than PlayStation did. And not to say that PlayStation was a bad showcase or anything. Like, it wasn't horrible. It just wasn't exciting, like you said. And like, I bumped though to 3 points because of hindsight, going back and watching these trailers. I was like, I probably made fun of things more than I should have, and I apologize for that. But it was in the moment, I was just like, man, this isn't exciting. I mean, I even walked away during the VR section because I had to use the bathroom. Did. So I was like, that's how much I didn't care about the VR section. So I was like, this is not interesting, because it was during the zombie thing, the Arizona Sunshine thing, and I was just like, I don't like this. Walk away from this.
Exactly. So, no, definitely. I think as long as they have show off some cool games, show off some gameplay, definitely Starfield. They'll be the talk of the town. Like, it shouldn't be that hard for them to do that, you know. Other than that, I think they have it. I think they have it in the bag.
Yeah, I will say this, because the Xbox showcase is like 2 hours long. They do have double the chances of messing up.
They do.
Have double the chances of making it unexciting and boring. So, hopefully those 2 hours will be filled to the brim with awesome stuff showing off Xbox. Summer Game Fest, I have less expectations for. All they have to do is just, in between the commercials, they need to show something fun. That's all they need to do. Because Summer Game Fest is more of a like third party, just bring everything together type of deal than being a console specific. So
gotcha.
Anyways, are you excited about those two?
Oh yeah, definitely. One that I'm really more excited than for either of those is the Devolver Digital Showcase.
Oh yeah,
I think they're going to show off some pretty good. They're going to be the sleeper of the whole thing.
They're going to win the whole conversation. They're going to come out. They're already announcing freaking Trek to Yomi 2.
But other than that, I think they're the ones that to always look for interesting games, and so in that indie showcase, and so I'm like, it's going to be interesting to see what they show. I'm pretty sure we'll see more of like stuff that we've seen, maybe like the Plex Squire, maybe for me more Angerfoot. They'll probably show a little something about Cult of the Lamb, saying, you know, some of the updates that they've done.
They probably should, because like I think Cult of the Lamb is probably the most popular game they've released, at least in the last few years. So
exactly. They'll show off that. I forgot the name of that skateboard game where you're playing like a polygon character or something. They'll probably show off that. And just whatever other games that they have in there. But other than that, I think hopefully they show off Summer Games Fest, them and Xbox and Starfield. They you know, just show off good games, gameplay. That's all I think people want.
I think that's the big thing too, is showing off the gameplay, because I think that's where PlayStation stumbled a lot with a lack of gameplay. So
you didn't enjoy Foam Stars? No. I remember everybody was talking so bad about that. It made me laugh so hard on Twitter. People were just like, "What is that?"
I want it to succeed. I will say that. Will I play it? No, I will not. But do I want it to find an audience and stay lively? Yes. Is it going to? Probably not.
That's so funny. Anyways. It's so hilarious.
You know, maybe it comes out and it's actually an incredible game and everybody loves it. You know, who knows?
What if it comes out?
Who are you saying?
I know, exactly. It comes out, people love it. All of a sudden, surpasses Fortnite as the most played game. And it's just like, we love it. And people, the fans take to it. Next thing you know, it's a hit.
Yeah. I think you're expecting too much. I predict that it'll be a week thing and then people forget about it.
Very true.
Or it's going to come out and review badly, and then people will talk about it because it's reviewed badly. And then there's going to be people that are going to defend it saying, no, it's a great game. But then turns out they never actually played it. It's usually how these things go, you know? Granted, the people that are going to talk shit about it are also going to be the ones that never actually played it too, like I am now.
Yeah. I give it a week. That's all I'm giving it.
Yeah, I give it a week as well. I think it will come out, and I think it will be decently fun. But I think the conversation around it will go away fairly quickly.
Definitely.
But yeah, that is the podcast, y'all. Ell?
Nice.
Wind us down.
I like that pause. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Respawn Please podcast. You can catch us every Friday live here at the YouTube. Just type in Respawn Please podcast. We're usually doing the podcast live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. If you miss out on the live version, you can always catch the edited version on Mondays, as well as the audio version available on all streaming platforms. The video version is here on our YouTube, so make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified of future videos. Other than that, quick announcement. We finally have all the episodes up. I've uploaded all the episodes of Review Please Anime Edition. So we dropped the Trigun Stampede review today, the video version, which is on our page. Exactly. You can go check it out, watch it, or if you need it on the go, there's also I think it's on Spotify, but I'm working on getting it on the rest of the streaming platforms. Just look up Review Please Anime Edition, and if you find us on there, you'll see it. All the episodes of the animes we reviewed are on there, and that'll be monthly, just like what we do with that, since it's we're watching so many animes. But make sure to subscribe, follow us on Spotify, and eventually wherever you get your podcast. And for future things, maybe even drop a suggestion as to an anime you think that we should review. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Also, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Respawn Please Podcast. And stay tuned. We have more coming.
Oh, we do have more coming. And I'm going to go ahead and reveal what we have coming. Because it's coming in a week. It's coming in a week. Every Friday, every Friday. The first Friday of every month, you will have another podcast you could listen to if you would like to listen to us talk more about things. But this podcast is called Respawn Reflects, R&R.
Yes.
It is a non-gaming podcast. It's a non-anime podcast. It's just Elle and I having a conversation about life. Yeah. About things going on in our lives, future things that are happening, things that have happened in the past. We'll probably have a topic of conversation to have. Maybe I'd just sit here for an hour and annoy the hell out of Elle, you know?
Exactly.
But so, our first episode is going to be up next week. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. And then I'll promote it and let everybody know about it. Cause I think, I'll probably do it on the YouTube too. I'm going to make sure that on social media as well as on our YouTube, everybody can find the links to stuff if they want to listen to the audio versions of it on the go. Just because I know sometimes it's a lot to like sit down and watch YouTube or even on the phone. There's so much stuff going on. But anyway.
Yeah. We'll have another podcast for you soon. And it will also be a monthly podcast. I don't know if I said that. But it will be a monthly podcast. So not a big investment on your part. Just be on the lookout for it. And we'll always announce it as well here on Respawn Please Podcast and all our other podcasts that are coming out in the future.
Yes.
Elle, what are we playing Wednesday? I don't think we've...
Wednesday?
Yeah. What are we playing Wednesday? You get to decide right now. You're on the spot.
We should play... I was actually thinking about playing... what is it? Oh, the Starship Troopers game.
All right. We're going to play Starship Troopers. There you go.
We should play that and some Fall Guys. I'll have a map for Wednesday. I'll have a map.
You'll have a map. Sweet. You'll have a track for us. Awesome. Well, see y'all on Wednesday for Starship Troopers and Elle's Fall Guys map. And if it's not fucking good, if it's not good, I swear to you, I'm going to punch you in the face through the screen. Blech. Words are hard. Anyways,
bye.
Have a good night, y'all. See you later.
Goodbye.
Spider-Man! Peter Parker!